everybody! Today we're going to draw watermelon, but in a different way to make an interesting composition. I used crayons and pencils, but you could use markers, oil pastels would be really good for this one, chalk, even paint. Grab your stuff, and the kids from school and I are ready to draw. Okay, we're going to draw my favorite food. My favorite food is watermelon. And I know you can all picture in your heads a triangle-shaped piece of watermelon, but we're going to draw them a little bit different so we have a really interesting composition. It's not a lot of stuff, but if we make it really big, it's going to be really cool to look at when we're all finished. So let's see, let's get these out. Noah did one with me yesterday. These are our examples, but we're going to redo today.
You do it a lot better here.
And we're going to do them even better than our practice ones yesterday, I bet. Yeah. All right, I'm turning our paper. We're turning our paper tall like a tower. And we're going to draw three, I don't know, maybe squarish or rectangle-ish shapes on the side. I'll start on the bottom and make 1, 2, 3-sided shape at the bottom, touching the side. And then the next one is going to be so close to this first one, I only need to draw 2 of those lines because they're stacked right on top of each other. And then we'll do one more on the top. And it doesn't matter what size they are. Like the one Noah did yesterday, I love how big that top piece of watermelon is. That's the piece of watermelon I would take and eat myself because it's the biggest. It's the biggest. All right, and then for a little three-dimensional aspect of our drawing, we're going to draw the bottom watermelon, but we're going to do our lines diagonal, slanting up a little bit and not all the way across your paper, but most of the way across your paper. And make a match. They should be parallel, which means they should look about the same. And look, Noah's already done his. At the end, draw an up and down line, a vertical line, just like the line we started with there. And that part of the watermelon's far away and that part is not. Noah is jumping ahead. Wait till I give directions, Noah. Just kidding. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to make this line come pretty straight out. It's not going to slant too much. And this line is going to come down. Well, I'll make mine a little shorter. I like the way this one looks as I erase and fix because it looks like steps right here. And I think that's a cool zigzag line. So if your watermelon goes a little bit too close to the end of that first one, erase it and make it come back a little bit so we get that look of steps. All right, so you know I had to erase too. If you're erasing right now, it's all good. Okay, and then for the top watermelon, we're going to slant the line going down. So it looks like that piece of watermelon is higher up. And we could even draw, maybe draw the bottom part of this watermelon. We didn't do that for the other one. I would not pick this piece of watermelon because it's so tiny. I need big pieces of watermelon. And there's only a couple other things we're going to draw before we color. I'm going to draw one line because this part of the watermelon right here, we'll be able to see the top of the watermelon. So I'm going to draw a line that goes from the corner and then it stops when it gets to that vertical line right there. Because we can see a little bit of that top of the watermelon. See, on this one, you can see a little bit more of that top. And these, we had room for extra lines.
You didn't point for me doing that because I can't see anything.
Yeah. And look, Noah already did it for his top, his middle piece too. I'll do it like that. So those will be the tops of the watermelons.
I'm kind of like spoiling the steps.
When we do our seeds, you don't need a ton of seeds, and check it well before you start seeds. Look, right close to these square rectangles you do first, we have a lot of white space. So don't put any seeds too close to the squares on the side. They should all be like out here in the middle, because that's where you'd see watermelon seeds. Although there really aren't seeds in watermelons too much anymore.
Wait, seeds aren't even things.
Kind of. I think scientists. All right, well, you guys are working on your seeds, and Noah's working on his seeds. Think about color. I know you guys are thinking that watermelons are red. Here's my red. And they'll be fine if you have just a red. But Noah really loved using this color, Razzle Dazzle Rose, and it made his watermelons more pink.
There's a bunch of crazy
And
ones.
mine had a bunch of crazy colors. I used a bunch of different colors. So if you've got just red and just green, you're good. But if you've got extra colors, like from like a 48 pack or a 64 pack, you can mix up your colors. You could even do them if you've got oil pastels. This is an awesome oil pastel project too. You could even paint it. When we color, Noah's still doing seeds, but I'll start with the coloring part.
I like a lot of seeds.
He does like a lot of seeds. If you want to trace your black line or your pencil lines with a black marker, you can totally do that. I did that first on this one, but I didn't make my black lines perfectly perfect because it's kind of a scratchy kind of drawing. But on this one, I traced when I finished my colors, and I used I couldn't even find a black crayon, so I used like a dark blue crayon. So I'm not going to trace with black first. I'll probably do the crayons after, but if you want to trace with the black, you can. But for color, the really only directions are leave yourself a little white space right there, and you can just draw a light line to remind yourself so you don't forget that there's that little bit of white for the watermelons. And then color in your spaces. And usually I say no scribble scrabble, but it's kind of fun if you're using more than one color or oil pastels or chalk. If you get a little of the crayon marks on there, as long as you try to stay in the lines and color everything. I'll fast forward as we color, and we'll meet you guys here when we're ready. All right, that's mine. Noah's still working. Pull you guys up. And my third too. And I'm telling you, these are my favorites. Yeah. Oh, good. Where did you put? There you have it. Thanks for drawing with us. We'd love to see your watermelons, so be sure to share, email, Facebook, Class Dojo, however you can get your masterpieces to me, do it. Because I miss you guys, but I miss your artworks too. All right, we'll see you here next time. Thanks for drawing with us.